Hey guys, this is Alex from A3J Group. Here today to talk to you a little bit about one of my favorite Maximo configurations, and that is emailing a purchase order to a vendor automatically from the system with a copy of the purchase order details report attached to that email. It's a pretty simple configuration, but one that's proven to be highly liked. And so what I figure is we'll just dive right into it. So what we've got here is we've got the standard IBM Maximo login. I'm going to use the old Wilson account to log in. So the first thing we're going to need to do is set up a communication template. This template is going to be what's sent out to all the vendors. So it's really something that you want to make professional and standard sort of boilerplate type information. If you need them to reply, if you need them to understand what their requirements are after having received the email, you want to include that in the body of the email. So what we're going to do is go over to the communication templates application, and I'll show you this template. So it's pretty simple. It applies to the purchase order. We activated it. And we simply have a send from subject and a body of the email here. And this is standard and can be used across all of your purchase orders. Next, what we're going to do is show you where the real action happens, and that is in an automation script. We have this PO to vendor automation script. And the automation script is going to look for certain characteristics of the purchase order, and then go ahead, generate the report, and then attach it to an email that goes out. And I'll show you how all this comes together on the PO itself. So what we'll do now is we'll go over to the purchase orders application and just create a new one. We'll create one for, let's say, Maximo Expert Service. If you're a company that uses Maximo, you're going to need a good Maximo service provider. So, of course, A3J Group fits that mold. So when we punch in our company, and I'll jump over to the company's application to show you this one. We have our list of contacts here and addresses, but we have that default customer contact here. And this is what our automation script will use when it fires in order to send the email out. We can modify that automation script to, really be off of anything we want, but we need to know where are we getting that email address in order to send out this information. We can get it right here from the primary contact on the vendor. So now that we've got our vendor filled out, you can even see down here, we've added in what the email address of the primary contact is, and that'll be who receives this purchase order. So we can come into our lines here and maybe create a service for, let's say, Maximo Managed Services 2020-21. And we'll make this a $1,000 purchase order. It's a heck of a bargain. What we'll do is we'll code it to a general GL. You might have a work order that you code it to. And then save it. And once we go ahead and approve it, you'll notice up here we have this email to PO to vendor button. So this is where what we've done here is added a button to actually email the PO to the vendor. But some organizations actually like that this action gets tied to the status change of approved, right? So as soon as that approved purchase order change status happens, the PO automatically gets emailed out to the vendor. But instead here we have a button, so it's a more manual push. So if I go ahead and hit that button, what'll happen is in the background now, that automation script is run, and what it's done is it's actually put a record in the report schedule run table. So it's basically like a schedule report is going out to an email or a list of email addresses. And the PO then should be received by the vendor shortly after hitting that button. And what you'll see is attached to the email will be a PDF of the purchase order details report for this Maximo Expert Service purchase order. And so it'll be a nice, tidy little package there for our vendor to have in their inbox. So we'll just give it another minute here for it to show up in the inbox. Just heard a little ding, so should be showing up any minute. And there we go. There's our purchase order. And you can see here, this is the details of what we saw in that communication template. And if we fire up this purchase order details report, you'll see here's our Maximo Managed Services 2020-21 for the $50,000 that we had coded in. So really easy and simple configuration, but it also standardizes the way that we communicate with our vendors. So something that you can do, go take a look at A3J Group blog. We've got a couple of articles out there that'll help you and walk you through exactly how to do this type of configuration. That's it for now. Thanks.